Welcome back, friends. It's Friday, so let's get to some Freaky Friday Hollywood news. Okay, it's really not freaky at all, but maybe a little worrisome for Teresa Nist from The Golden Bachelor, if you remember that show. So if you actually watched this spinoff of the Bachelor, Bachelorette franchise, then you know Jerry Turner was named the first Golden Bachelor because, of his age and whatnot, and he was looking for everlasting love, and he found it in Teresa Nist, albeit temporarily. So the couple tied the knot in early 2024, but just 3 months after this massive televised wedding, sadly, Teresa and Jerry split up. And since the maybe shocking, sad, or somewhat expected breakup, Jerry has written a memoir titled The Golden Years. It is set to be released on November 4th, and he's dropping a few, but a major, massive bombshell about his feelings for Teresa leading up to their wedding day. So Jerry wrote that he told second runner-up Faith Martin days before his January wedding to Teresa that he felt, quote, trapped in their relationship. However, he recalled still going through with the wedding because he felt like he was doing the right thing. Now, he told Us Weekly, quote, "I was a bit naive, I was a bad listener, I didn't probe well enough, and that's both for my sake and for Teresa's. Had I been better at some of those areas, maybe there would have been a different end." Ow, that hurts my heart, okay? As you can imagine, Teresa has gotten wind of his words in this memoir and has issued a very curt rebuttal. In a statement to, again, Us Weekly, published earlier this week, Teresa said, quote, "It makes me very sad to think that he felt empty and trapped. I wish he had said something and just ended it." Yeah, girl. Preach. And of course, she wishes him well because, well, he's now engaged to someone new. So I just feel so bad. I didn't even watch this. I've reported on this before, but it's just like, again, why don't you just end it, Jerry? Anyways, we got to move on with life, all right? And speaking of calling out unsavory behavior, Jennifer Aniston is getting candid about being a little selfish at a difficult time in her life. So in an upcoming appearance on the Armchair Expert podcast with Dax Shepard, the 56-year-old actress opened up about coming to terms with not having children. Now, I wish I had the clip to show you and get it straight from, Aniston's mouth, but the actual podcast episode doesn't come out until October 20th. So I'm just going to give you the gist of what went down on the podcast. Okay, so Dax Shepard's co-host, Monica Padman, who is going through her own in vitro fertilization journey, IVF, asked Aniston if there was peace after, her decision of not having children was made. Aniston said, quote, "It's so peaceful, but I will say there's a point where it's like, this is out of my control. There's literally nothing I can do about it. So when people say, but you can adopt, I don't want to adopt. I want my own DNA in a little person. That's the only way, selfish or not, whatever that is, that's what I wanted." She also noted, quote, "It just wasn't in the plan. Whatever the plan was, it's very emotional, especially in the moment when they say," they, as in doctors, "that's it." Because there is a weird moment when that happens, but there's a moment when it's actually like, oh yeah, this is not even viable. And you're like, oh, okay, well, that's life. So you may have seen reports claiming Aniston never had kids because she was a workaholic, but that just isn't the case. She actually spent 20 years trying to pursue having a family, and sadly, after several media attacks on why she wasn't having kids or choosing not to have kids, Aniston finally revealed her fertility struggles after years of keeping those details and her journey under wraps. So honestly, yeah, was it selfish? But again, that's her life, that's her journey. It's a very sensitive subject. So I still love Jennifer Aniston. So good on her for, making the life that she's made for herself, okay? Now I'm going to turn this Hollywood train in a completely different direction, okay? Kevin Federline, probably have no clue who he is, but he was Britney Spears' ex-husband and her ex-backup dancer way back in the day. He is coming out and saying Britney's erratic behavior is way worse than what is posted on social media. Well, despite not speaking with the pop star in years, Kevin Federline says their two sons, Jaden and Preston, fill him in on their mother's behaviors. So it's also worth noting that K-Fed, as he went by, has a memoir coming out on October 21st, and it's titled, You Thought You Knew. He told Entertainment Tonight's Kevin Frazier, quote, I'm not going to get into details because I'm not going to just expose her personal life, but it's 10 times worse than anything I've said in my book. You're not going to get into the details, you're not going to expose her, but yet you have this memoir saying You Think You Knew, where details about your guys' life together and after you guys broke up are coming out. I don't know. Seems a little contradictory to me. Federline explained he has kept his mouth shut over the years for the sake of his family and has even tried to help his sons build a relationship with Britney. Well, here's a few things that are also alleged in his memoir. Again, remember, he's not trying to expose her. But here are a few things that are also alleged in his memoir. Britney would watch their son sleep while holding a knife in her hand, and that she had an affair with a female backup dancer, just to name a few, but you know. Going off about not exposing her personal life, a rep for Spears slammed Federline's allegations, telling Page 6 via a statement, with news from Kevin's book breaking. Once again, he and others are profiting off her, and sadly, it comes after child support has ended with Kevin. He needs the money, okay? If the claims he makes in the memoir are true, I hope he sought the counseling he's needed to get over it, and I really do hope Britney is getting the help that she feels she needs. I don't even know if you follow her on social media. It's pretty crazy. But that is that. Okay, just a few quick bites for you guys. If you didn't know, but I think you probably know by now, Diane Keaton, the legendary actress Diane Keaton, sadly and unexpectedly passed away on Sunday, October 12th. And finally, her official cause of death was revealed. It was due to primary bacterial pneumonia. So, I mean, that's just something internally. Who knows how she was feeling? But there have been reports that she was, at a friend's birthday, days leading up to her passing. It's just all so sad. One that was taken too soon. She was 79 years old. She's had a tremendous amount of, tributes to her. Steve Martin, Martin Short, Al Pacino. He said his biggest regret in life was not marrying Diane Keaton. So rest in peace, Diane. Okay, disgraced GMA3 anchors Amy Robach and TJ Holmes, if you remember them, are engaged 3 years after their cheating scandal rocked the network news world and news cycle. They got a podcast. They've talked about the scandal. They've talked about their decisions that were made. So good for them, I guess. I don't really know. Okay, and Lionel Richie's youngest daughter, Sophia Richie, announced that she is pregnant with baby number 2. So major congratulations to Sophia Richie and Lionel Richie for becoming a grandpa once again. All right, you guys, that's all I got for this week's What the Hollywood. We'll be back with lots more fun right after this.